No, I didn't forget. I just lacked motivation. I I did go, I went to C2E2 back in April, and I still have yet to show off my swag that I got while I was there. I'm rectifying that right now. I just had other things going on with my job, and I went out to California for my birthday, which I will be editing the footage for that too. I got a lot of good stuff out there. And just a lot of it I just lacked motivation. It's my own doing, and I own up to it, but right now I'm taking care of it right now. So as you can see, this is my swag bag that I got from C2E2. It's Adult Swim, which I haven't watched in ages. I think the last thing I watched on Adult Swim was an episode of Rick and Morty where they were on the planet that was dominated by women. That's the last thing I remember watching. This is apparently it's pronounced Fooly Cooley. I have never watched the show, but I've heard of it. I saw that and I didn't know how to pronounce it. I pronounced it Fiddlefuckle for some reason, but it's pronounced Fooly Cooley, and that's whatever that's supposed to be. I'll just show you the highlights. We'll just hit the highlights of what I got at the show. It is finally mine. I finally got my 10th Doctor costume shirt, which I had hoped to get last year for Wizard World when I was supposed to get my picture taken with David Tennant. But the guy that I ordered it from on Amazon was not very reputable, and I never got it from him. Thankfully, Amazon did have me covered, and they refunded my money. And I also got my money refunded because David Tennant had a family emergency, so he wasn't able to attend. But I will be getting in for free next month, which is a good thing. And I finally got my shirt, so next time I ever do get a chance to get my picture taken with him, I'll be ready. I was ready last year. I had my TARDIS Express t-shirt, and I made up a sign. I was going to tape it on the front of the shirt saying authentic 10th Doctor costume coat. No, seriously. But I've got it now, and so I'm happy with it. I haven't worn it yet. It's been in the bag this whole time, but I'm glad I finally got it. This is the other shirt that caught my eye. It's from a bookstore called Anderson's Books. They're in downtown Naperville. I've been in there a couple of times. Haven't been in there lately, though, but I will have to rectify that. It says, "Books are cool," and you can kind of see what they're going for with the book there, because it does resemble a bow tie. They did have it in TARDIS blue. Unfortunately, they didn't have it in my size. They did have the brown ones in my size, so I took that. If I can turn it over here real quick. Yeah, you can see there. Anderson's Bookshops in Naperville and Downers Grove. Never been to the one in Downers Grove. I didn't even know they had one in Downers Grove, but that's their site right there, andersonsbookshop.com. It is a nice little place. I actually went there one time. Author Susan Isaacs was there doing a signing, and I dug out my copy of Shining Through, which I got her to autograph. She was promoting her, what was her latest book at the time? Something about, I think it was Compromising Positions? Something about a dentist. but that's what she was there promoting, and I got her to sign my copy of Shining Through. Nice little store. Like I said, I haven't been in there lately, but I'll have to do something about that. These two shirts, the David Tennant one and the Anderson's books, they'll be replacing two of my shirts that have gotten too worn. I'll be shooting a video about that eventually. Yeah, they were kind of two of my favorite shirts, and I'm sorry to see them go, but I've got two good shirts to replace them with. And of course, I got the second chapter of James Finn Garner's Rex Coco trilogy, Double Indignity. Finalist 2014 Book of the Year, non-traditional fiction. That it is. Where else are you going to read about a circus clown who's a private eye in his off-season? Make sure you use the glossary in the back. Otherwise, you are not going to understand a word this guy is saying. See, the Polari, as he calls it. It's got circus terms, and this was back in the 1940s, so there's a lot of 40s terms. Yeah. You want to call someone a good man, you call him Bona Homie? Okay, whatever. Yeah. Buffone. Bona Homie and Buffone. So, he's a good Italian clown, I guess. There's a cage boy, backstage assistant to a lion tamer. Calabagas money. Yeah. I loaned the first book, Honk Honk My Darling, to a friend of mine, and he gave it back to me a few days later. He's, I can't understand it. And I said, did you check the glossary? Were you checking the glossary in the back? He's like, no, check the glossary or you're not going to understand a word. So he still hasn't given it back to me, so I guess I'll have to check up on him. Grouch Bag. Gunzel. Hey Rube! Yeah, you can learn all these circus terms and 1940s lingo. And this, I was actually surprised that this guy was here. This is his anthology. Chris Murray illustrated Steve Bryant. This is Athena Voltaire. She's like she's an homage to the pulp heroes and heroines of the 30s and 40s. And I actually found this book on Amazon. I was looking at some other books, and you know, down at the bottom where it says you were looking at this, maybe you'd like this. This was one of the books that came up in the you might also like this list. So I saved it in my wish list, and then I was just roaming around Artist Alley, and lo and behold, there they were, and here it was. And so I just snagged it up. And the beauty of it is, he even spelled my name right and everything. So he was very thankful for the Amazon algorithm that brought this to my attention. It's going on the list. You're going on the list, dear, and I will get to you someday. These guys were there. Armory Quest, specializing in quality foam weapons, masks, and swords used for fantasy, cosplay, and LARP. And this was in their $5 bargain treasure chest. Had like little daggers and whatnot, and I figured, well, Who doesn't need a good $5 foam rubber hatchet? I figured maybe I could take it with me next time I go to Elgin for Nightmare on Chicago Street. I'm back as the Mad Doctor, and could use this as one of his tools, along with the hatchets and the meat cleaver and the saw and whatnot. Mad doctors can never have too many instruments. I forget which booth I got this from, but it was the last one they had, so I figured I better snag it. It's the Pocket Pop Doctor Who TARDIS keychain. I'm getting him to replace my Tom Baker one. He's not doing so well. He lost his arm and the color's rubbing off on him, and he's not in all that great a shape. So I'll be retiring him and replacing him with the TARDIS. Yeah, good thing I'm 14 and up, so yeah, I'll be doing a video on that too. I get these ideas for videos, and then I plan them out in my head, and then I lack the motivation to do them. So I practically, sometimes I have to just tell myself, just get in there and film it, because I have other stuff going on in my life, and sometimes I just don't have any motivation to do things like this. So, but I do force myself. I do say, just get in there and do it. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I got to vote on what new flavor of crunchy M&Ms they were going to come out with. There's crunchy raspberry and crunchy espresso, and this is the one I voted for, crunchy mint. Yeah, I got all those. Why don't they just have all three of them? They were all good. I liked them all. I liked the mint. I voted for the mint. I liked the mint, and then I liked the espresso, and the raspberry was good too. I'm not much of a raspberry person, and I've seen these in the stores. But you have to vote for one of them, and they're going to keep one of them. And I don't know, why don't they just have all three of them? But anyway, as I was coming out of the voting trailer or whatever it was, I looked over and I saw what was supposed to be the booth for Girl Genius, Phil and Kaja Foglio's webcomic, which is the only comic I really follow anymore. I wait until the collected trade editions come out and I get those. I read those. But I looked over there and I saw the sign for them, and the place was empty. And that is the second time. They were supposed to be at Wizard World a few years back. They had a listing for them in the directory, and me and my nephew Joe, we were running around all over the place trying to find it, and we couldn't find the number for it. And then this year they had a booth, but they weren't there. So it's just kind of funny, because I'd really like to meet the guy. Yeah, these guys were here. The Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab. They do like different scented oils and fragrances, and I've looked at their website a couple of times, and they had some stuff that interested me, but I never ordered anything from them. And then I found out they were going to be there, so I thought this was my chance to check them out. This is frankincense myrrh and hay. So this is kind of a good Christmassy scent. Atmosphere and linen spray. I thought it was a body spray, and I was gonna douse myself in it, but then I looked at it, and it's actually a room spray, air freshener kind of thing. So, vegan friendly and environmentally responsible. Black Phoenix abhors animal testing. All Black Phoenix products are tested on friends and family. Shake it gently before use. Not for use on the body. Yeah, there you go. So, a nativity. This is an atmospheric linen and room spray used to establish a distinctive ambiance in your living spaces. These sprays are generously scented with copious amounts of Black Phoenix perfume oil and disperse beautifully. Yeah, I talked to the guys there at the booth, and they said they thought about adding some other extra scents to give you the feeling of a stable, but they decided to stop at frankincense, myrrh, and hay. So that's a good thing. I like it. I think maybe the next time around Christmas when they put up their nativity display, I may sneak this in here and give it a few spritzes. See if anyone notices. She was there. I finally got to meet Brianna Garcia. I have been watching her YouTube videos for years when she goes to Disneyland in California and she hangs out with Alice and the Mad Hatter and Peter Pan and all the other characters. She's the creator of this web comic, When Curiosity Met Insanity. It's about Alice and the Mad Hatter falling in love and their little escapades. And it started out as that, I think, and it just carried over into the her videos, and there was other fan videos made, music videos made with the artwork that she drew and stuff, and I think she's let other people take over for her, but I was really surprised to see her, and I told her how much I've been following her videos and her work, and she thanked me. I would have gotten a drawing of her from her, not a drawing of her, but a drawing from her, but she was already booked for the duration of the show. She did this one video where Mad Hatter accused Tinkerbell of stealing his teapot. And how did it go? Yeah, then she went and talked to Tinkerbell about it, and she said, "Mad Hatter, are you calling me a pirate?" And she goes, "I am nothing but a pirate." And I think she meant to say, "I am anything but a pirate." And I was going to have her draw a picture of Tinkerbell dressed as a pirate flying off with Hatter's teapot, and he's on the ground jumping up and down and shaking his fists at her. But she had already booked all her commission slots. But I'll get it from her one of these days. Scott Blair was there. He was there promoting his new all new original comic, Blood, Werewolves, Vampires, Vamps vs. Wolves, on sale now. Order it at scottblairart.com. He does like these pinup style drawings. He does really good work. And I did get something from him. He corrected the first Avengers movie's oversight. during the Black Widow interrogation scene. Yeah. She would have cracked in nothing flat. And so, that's my swag bag video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will endeavor to do the other videos. The Disneyland video, I went there on my birthday and I had a blast, and I'll show you all the pictures from that and narrate them, and hopefully it won't take as long. Also the videos about the videos I want to do about replacing my my two of my favorite shirts with the David Tennant and the Anderson Book shirt, and replacing my Tom Baker keychain with the TARDIS keychain. You'll see them. I'll get them eventually, and you'll see what I have in mind for them. And of course, like I said, I'll be going to Wizard World for free this year. There's not really... Well, David Tennant's not going to be there as far as I know. Like the cast of Outlander, or whatever it's called, that Scottish show that I know absolutely nothing about. The cast is going to be there for that. James Fingarner is going to be there, and I hope to get the third and final chapter of the Rex Coco trilogy. Brad Jones is going to be there, the cinema snob. I may snag a bottle of Buffalo Wild Wings blazing sauce for him. I don't really know who else is going to be there. I'd have to check the website. But I'll be doing footage of that as well, and I will get to them eventually, my motivation and mindset permitting. It does get a little tricky sometimes, because there's times I just lack the motivation to do the things I'd like to do, and I need to focus on the things I absolutely have to do. It does get tricky sometimes. I suppose that's one of the reasons why I never really... I could see myself becoming a full-time YouTuber. I wouldn't mind it, but from what I've heard, from what I've heard other YouTubers talk about, it can be pretty brutal, and I don't think I'd be able to keep up with it, to be perfectly honest. But I do post videos when I can about things that strike my interest, and I do my writers group's open mic night videos, which they are very thankful for, because it helps show them, how they're doing as far as public speaking, public presentation goes, and reading their pieces. So there is that. And my coverage of C2E2 and Wizard World Chicago and Nightmare on Chicago Street, and just whatever else strikes my fancy. I would like to do a couple of I've done movie reviews, and I'd like to do more of those, and maybe do a couple of book reviews. I've done book reviews in my writers group, and I've read those, and I'd like to do a couple of videos where I read those reviews. But I'll get to them when I can, if I can. And those of you who do watch these, I do thank you for watching, and I hope you will continue to watch. And tell your friends, too. thank you very much. Appreciate it.